As we start in our time of meditation, I invite you to feel the chair supporting you. Feel the floor pushing back on your feet. And just get here now. As we open ourselves to unseen forces surrounding the throne of power, beauty, and might, we throw about ourselves protection found in the thought of the Christ. And with that, I'm inviting you just to circle yourself in white light like a caterpillar in a cocoon. From head to toe. And then we'll go back up again. From your feet all the way up, slowly surrounding yourself in white light. Your feet, your ankles, your legs, your calves, your knees, both at the same time. Your thighs, your seat, your belly, and your back. One up your chest, your upper back, your shoulders, your arms out to each finger, and your neck, one up around your head. We're going to do a stepping down meditation today. We're going to count backwards from 10 to 0. If you'd like to practice at home, this comes from Passages, a guide for pilgrims of the mind. I also have it on YouTube. So we're going to start at 10, count down to 0, just to get centered to the truth of who we are. And when we get to 0, I'll leave you in silence and invite you just to stay open to any messages, any visions, any downloads you get, and then I'll give you time at the end to write what you get. 10, 9, feel yourself going down deeper and deeper into a state of deep relaxation. Just releasing any thoughts, any concerns. 8, 7, feel yourself relaxing into this now moment. 6, 5. As we go down and release and let go, we feel lighter. We feel open. We are receptive. 4, 3. Just letting go, trusting that all is as it should be. 3, 2. Here in this now moment, we are open and receptive as we go into the silence. 1 and 0. And we state the intention here that the next time we step down, we'll be as deep as we are now by the time we get to 5, and we'll go deeper still from 5 to 0. And now, in the silence. Thanks for the sound of the water and supporting the rewiring and realigning of our thoughts and feelings as we sit in the silence. As we prepare in our time in silence, I just invite you to pay attention. Any visions, any emotions, any thoughts, any feelings, anything, into everything that you received in the silence. And I will give you time to write what you received once we return. And let us give thanks for any information that was received, for any visitors that arrived, for any ahas and mirrors as we prepare to return. We'll count from 0 to 10, and when you get to 10, we'll be back in the room, remembering all that was shared. 0, 1, 2, 3, as we return to the day-to-day expression of our being. We recall the truth of who we are, connected always to Source. You can stop at any time into the silence and be reminded of that truth. 3, 4, as we come back, we're not alone. We're always connected one to another, as well as to Source. There is only one. 5, 6, breathing in and breathing out the truth of our being. 7, 8, and when we reach 10, we will be back in the room, remembering your truth. 9 and 10. And you can take some time to write what you received, and then when you are done, we can greet others, welcome them into community as we come together to remember the truth of who we are in love and light. And so it is.
No two journeys are ever quite the same. Oh, the river knows your name, and the river hears you cry as the lightning cracks the open sky. As your mama sings a lullaby, oh, the river hears you cry. flesh, to the brothels, to the same. No two journeys are ever quite the same. Oh, but the river, she knows your name. Oh, the river, she knows your name.
Right?
Welcome.
Thank you, Susan. And John Talon, who's also going to be here today. Welcome, everybody. Glad to see some folks here. Not quite as packed as last week, but glad everybody's here that's here. My name's Brian Kurtz. My pronouns are he and him. I'm really glad to see everybody here. Welcome to the Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Community. Rio Grande Spiritual Community Center. Name's still evolving with our merger with Unity and CSL coming together in new thought, wisdom, and celebration together. Our musical inspiration today is Susan Clark and John Talon, who I think is John's got his drum set set up. He's not there right now, but he'll be in. Our tech team, Cheryl, Ray, and Jennifer, are rocking it and keeping things error-free, I intend and expect. Our greeters, Doug and Erica, are here. Food Angels, Mike, and whoever else is here doing that. We got a whole bunch of people bringing love and action today. Our practitioner, Michelle, led a wonderful meditation this morning and is holding the service in consciousness and prayer. Michelle, Robin, and Greg, I think, are holding the service in consciousness and prayer today. Robin's over here. Carmela's over here holding the service and holding space. Before we go any further, I want to say hi to the folks who are listening online. My sweetheart Karen is there, who's spending a lot of time in mild PTSD right now over all the friends and family in Southern California who are dealing with fires right now. I don't know if anyone's ever dealt with anything like that, but getting the call to evacuate, getting to some safe space if you have one, and then getting a message it's okay to go home, only to find out you have to leave again, and the whole back and forth and the trauma around that is brutal. So let's envision safety and well-being and health and happiness, as much happiness as they can have, and just peace for those folks. Let's envision that for them today and ongoingly. Marilyn O'Leary is also going to be doing our reading today. Reverend Gill is going to be doing our message today. We got a lot of classes going on, too many for me to mention here. I'll mention briefly Journey to Self, Foundations, all sorts of really amazing classes led by some wonderful people. Reverend Deb, Reverend Gill, Reverend Kamatara. There's lots of stuff going on. Please check your newsletter. If you don't have the newsletter, go to the website, and when that thing drops down and wags itself in front of you, go ahead and sign up and make sure you're getting the newsletter on a regular basis. We have on the last Friday of this month for Solid Grounds an open mic night for poetry and storytelling. If that's something you're interested in, would like to hear, would like to participate in, there'll be a sign-up sheet back in the back of the room. Please take care of that one. That'll be the last Friday of the month. And in the meantime, check out Solid Grounds. It's a pretty amazing thing. I was doing it years before it showed up here, and I just love it. There's Grace walking in, still working in the bookstore. And check out the bookstore. There's a whole bunch of stuff on the 50% off table. There's also jewelry discounted at 20% off mark price. Science of Mind magazine is still not here. We're still waiting. Keep checking with Gil. Don't hound him, but he will be letting us know when it arrives. Thank you for your patience in advance. Also in the bookstore available is Unity's Spiritual and Health. Is it Spiritual and Health magazine? Is that what it's called? I want to make sure I get the name right. But thank you everybody for being here, and thank you for hitting the bookstore. And let's start. Thank you.
I call upon the Divine Spirit that is in us, around us, and works through us to be present for us in a special way today. By special, I mean a way that brings our awareness. We bring our awareness to it, and it brings itself. It is always here for us, just waiting to be recognized, waiting to be used. And so I'm thankful for that, and I call upon that spirit to bless this service today, to bless everyone who has participated, to bless all the helpers, to bless Reverend Gill and everyone else involved today, and to bless every single person here and online, knowing that you are reaching for spirit, for love, for power, and that spirit and love and power reaches back to you and is our oneness. And so knowing that, knowing where we are, knowing we are here, knowing we are surrounded by love, knowing that we are loved, I just take a breath and rest and say, and so it is.
Good morning. Why don't you stand for this? And it's a beautiful chant. Very simple, so you can kind of get lost in it, right? I'll play a little intro. Okay, here we go. And I open my heart. I open my heart. And I open my heart. I open my heart. There's so much love, so much beauty. There's so much love and joy. There's so much love, so much beauty. There's so much love and joy. And I open my heart. I open my heart. And I open my heart. I open my heart. There's so much love, so much beauty. There's so much love and joy. There's so much love, so much beauty. There's so much love and joy. And I open my heart. I open my heart. I open my heart. I open my heart.
Thank you, Susan and John. Thank you, everyone. Have a seat. Good morning. Good morning. I am Reverend Gil William Olmsted. I am the spiritual director here, and I'm glad to be back. Good to see you all. My pronouns are he and him, and I just want to welcome everybody, and I want to say a word about why we're here and what we do. So we come from the New Thought ancient wisdom tradition. And so there's some basic principles that we all hang on to. And first of all, one of those principles is that there is only one power in the universe. And so it's called many things, but it's the same power. And secondly, we know that we are co-creators. So our thoughts are creative. What we hold in our minds and our beliefs change what we experience. So we help each other keep an eye on that. Sometimes we get caught in them. Sometimes we need a little redirection. We also enhance our awareness of our, hello, Izzy. Well, folks, for those of you that may not have seen it, it was a dog. Okay. It was our own little Izzy. So, we enhance our connection to the divine through prayer and meditation, learning, service, and laughter, I will add today, because I think it's true. But we know that everything in our life is either an expression of love or a call for love, which basically means it's all love. It's just a matter of us receiving that and knowing that. And finally, we are each whole, perfect, and complete right where we are. So nothing needs to be added or fixed or modified. So, standing in that truth, I again welcome you all here. I want to welcome anyone who's with us for the first time or second time. Now that we're this combined organization, it's really fun to see everybody here. Is anybody with us for the first time that feels comfortable identifying themselves? Okay, we're going to go with that. What we're going to do is we're going to offer a blessing to everyone. And especially if you're new, receive it. If you're online, hear us blessing you with this. So throw our hands together, get some energy flowing, send it out to one another, and say, we see you. We see you. We know who you really are. We know who you really are. You are the divine likeness of spirit. You are the divine likeness of spirit. We bless you. We bless you. We thank God for you. We thank God for you. Welcome home. Welcome home. Thank you all. Susan will now offer a song for us again.
And let's see here. I think I want you to stand again. I think this is another congregational song. Am I correct? Okay. You guys are... Whoa, what was that? I got a shock, too, at the same time. That was, okay, Spirit. Alrighty then. Yes, here we go. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. I think I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Take a deep breath. Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue skies. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Don't pay any attention to those clouds out the window in your heart. It's shining today. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day.
And I have a reading for you this morning from Ernest Holmes in The Science of Mind. I'll do the reading, and then we'll have a minute of silence after the reading. The thing then works for us by working through us and is us always. It cannot work for us in any other way. It spreads itself over the whole universe and shouts at us from every angle, but it can become power to us only when we recognize it as power. Therefore, our belief sets the limit to our demonstration of a principle which of itself is without limit. It is ready to fill everything because it is infinite. So it is not a question of its willingness nor of its ability. It is entirely a question of our own receptivity. We are thinking, willing, knowing, conscious centers of life. We are surrounded by, immersed in, and there is flowing through us a creative something. Call it what you will. The sum total of all our thought, will, purpose, and belief creates a tendency in this law that causes it to react to us according to the sum total of that belief. Well, it's true that we are influenced by circumstances, such as feeling hot on a sweltering day. Our true power lies not in controlling external conditions, but in mastering our thoughts and beliefs about those conditions. The creative law responds to our habitual thinking, shaping our lived experience according to the sum total of our thoughts, ideas, beliefs, and opinions. There isn't a single perfect thought to hold. Rather, it's crucial to become aware of the thoughts we are having and recognize their impact on our reality. And if you want to go back and look at that, it's page 39 in the Signs of Mind.
Almost hate to do this, because this is kind of a rock and roll type of a song. Yeah, okay. We all get nice and mellow. Yeah. I've had this problem for years and years. I felt ashamed and so out of control. But the time has come to bring it to light and release its powerful hold. I got stuff in my heart, in my head, in my home. I got stuff, and now oh, leave me alone. Well, my house is packed with nicks and nacks. I don't know where things are. I've crammed the garage with hodge and podge. There's no room left for my car. And it's smothering me, I can't seem to breathe. Overwhelmed by this mess that I'm in. I gotta make a change, cause it's all too much. But I don't know where to begin. With all of this stuff in my heart, in my head, in my home. I got stuff in now, so leave me alone. Now there's heartbreaks and aches from past mistakes that rattle around in my mind. All the tears and fears I've collected for years are stacked up and frozen in time. And I try to release, to feel some peace, but I'm stuck. I can't seem to forgive. violence and grudges. Holy, how my mind judges. There ain't a way to live. All of this stuff, 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 stuff in my heart, in my head, in my home. I got stuff, stuff, stuff in down. Just leave me alone. Wait a minute. Here's an idea. I can lighten up, let it go, loosen the chains, moving on down the line. Oh, I can clean it up, clear it out, cast it away, one little step at a time. One little step at a time. So here's what I'll do to release and break through, reclaim this place as my own. I'll make a space filled with love and grace, create a peaceful home. And my body and mind are willing this time to be the best I can be. New life created and so celebrated. I have set myself free from all of this stuff, 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 stuff in my heart, in my head, in my home. No more stuff, stuff, stuff it down. Find a place of your own. Stuff, 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 stuff in my heart, in my head, in my home. No more stuff, stuff, stuff it down. Oh, no more stuff, leave me alone. Find a place of your own. I got rid of my stuff.
John Talon and our Director of Musical Inspiration, Susan Clark. Thank you so much. Woo! That's why she has that position. Woo! I saw a beautiful image yesterday online of a family in Altadena, California, standing on what was their house. In a large circle, there were probably 8 or 10 people there. They were family members. And they began singing together and sounding like a perfect choir. And in the midst of what is, they were beyond the circumstances, stepping beyond the circumstances. And that is not a simple thing to do, really, always. And so I do want to acknowledge all that's going on in Southern California. We have a lot of friends, and we keep seeing different things on Facebook about what's going on, the air quality, the evacuations, and having lived through several fires myself, it's scary. It's scary, and I know we know some of that here in New Mexico as well. So just hold them in thought today and see beyond the circumstances. So today's topic is making space for it. Making space for it. Well, I was thinking about this, and what I first came to was, I think we often look at that sentence, something that says something like that. We're thinking of making space. We think it's about the making space. It's about the doing something to make something else happen. But what if that really isn't the point? What if the point is the it? It's what we're making space for that's important. It's not the making space, if you will. See, we all kind of think we need space for something, right? I need to be able to stretch my arms and my legs. I need to have room in my house for my stuff. I need you to sit over there because I need a little space. Right? And so we have these thoughts about what that is. And that illusion is that somehow having that space creates something in us that will allow us to make good decisions, or to have what we need, or to live more balanced lives. And sometimes it may assist with some of that. But we often get stuck with, well, if I just had the space, if I just had the time in my life, the space in my garage, as we just heard, the space in my activities, then I would have the opportunity to do what I needed to do. The it is the intangible. The intangible that is the universe, that is all of it, that has all that we ever need. It's beyond the names, it's beyond all of that. It is what we know it to be, the wholeness and the fullness. And all of us are from that, of that, as that. And so, when we're making space for the it, my thought is that we are letting go of the stuff we think we know. Letting go of the things we think are going to make something happen. And releasing into, allowing ourselves to experience the it, the fullness of spirit, the health, the wholeness, the healing, the presence. So I'll tell you a story from 20-some years ago now, 24 years ago. I had met Robin, my wife, and she took me to the Association of Global New Thought as one of my introductions to New Thought. I had been a United Methodist minister. She was singing in the Agape Choir. They were at an event in Palm Springs, and she said, "Come with me." So I did. And after a weekend of that, we were walking to a restaurant with some friends, and I stopped in the middle of the street, literally, and I said, out loud, "What the hell am I doing here?" And that was what came forth. What is this about? What am I doing here? And that was the entry to opening up to the it that would eventually send me on my path from that point forward. But there wasn't something I could create. There wasn't something I could define. There wasn't anything I could do. I couldn't push out some old thing. I couldn't do anything. All I could do was realize that I was in the midst of this power and it's flowing through me and something is happening. And I needed to allow it to happen. I needed to make space for it to continue to move me forward. So with that in mind, how many of you were here on Thursday night? Anybody was here? A few people. Yes, we were. Thursday evening, Reverend Kamatara set us up to see a movie. I'm going to get out my glasses. Documentary called What is New Thought? And you might think that sounds kind of dry. It does, a little. But it was a fantastic movie for several reasons. First of all, it gave a whole lot of history, which is interesting, right? It's interesting to see the history. And we saw, they pointed out the origins of many of the various New Thought denominations of divine science and Christian science and unity and science of mind. and where all these came from, and the lines and the lineage of the different people who had initially brought these thoughts forward and then taught them and shared them down the way. And that was quite fascinating. And then they talked about some of the advances of New Thought into the realm of the world since then, and how this idea that there is something larger, that we actually have a co-creation with it, that when we make space for it in our lives, it changes things. That has been proliferated through business these days. You have Stephen Covey's works. You have a lot of different things like that that have done that. You had the teachings of Norman Vincent Peale. And believe it or not, something I learned in the movie, the Big Book of AA was written and reviewed by persons in New Thought. I think Ernest Holmes was one of those people. I don't want to quote too much of that because I could be wrong. And then finally they talked about our spiritual cousins in the Pentecostal church, the charismatic movement being and coming from the same roots as New Thought, because it's about the power of what's possible. It's about the power that there's something that is able to flow through us and create something new, create something different. And what happened for me after sitting through that movie was, I really thought, what the heck? Do I really embrace these teachings? Do I really get it? Do I believe that? Do I subscribe to that truth? See, several of the people that they talked about in the movie became teachers and founders, etc., because they had healings in their lives. They had healings in their lives because somebody said, there's a power greater than you, and it's within you at the same time. And then they took that, and they realized from their own experience that they could share that. And they began sharing that out themselves and teaching the same thing. So, do I acknowledge the fullness of the universe that lives within me? Do you acknowledge the fullness of spirit, which is right where you are? Is it scary? Does it happen that when something comes up where somebody says, we know something different than what the circumstance appears to be, does your mind go, no? Does your mind go, I don't buy that? I mean, it sounds good, but I'm not buying. And yet, that's where we're called to go. That's where the power is. That's where the joy and the beauty is in what we talk about here on a regular basis, is that. And it's the thing that I want in my life. And I suspect it's the thing that most of us want in our lives. This that I'm talking about now, that's the it that we're making space for. That power of the universe that's present. It allows us to see health and wholeness in our world, in each other, in ourselves. It allows us to answer a medical diagnosis with "'tain't so." It allows us to participate in unfolding miracles every day. They aren't really miracles, they're just what it is. They are, in some ways, we have created this this idea of miracles, and usually we define it as something out of the ordinary, right? Something that's beyond normality, something that's not normal. Well, no wonder we have a hard time believing it, because we define it as outside of possibility. And that's the thing, the it is telling us and is constantly offering us the possibility of something that is beyond any possibility we could think of. So as smart as we are, which I know you all are very smart, we're not that smart. Right? We know a lot of stuff, but not really. We know a lot of stuff that we have ingrained in our minds. Like, I have to remind myself to go back and go, okay, I don't need to believe that because someone told me something that that's how it is. Or because something's happening in my body, that's the way it needs to be. Or because something's happened in my life that appears tragic, that means it's all tragedy. I'm gonna say that again. I go back to my wife Robin. Now, unfortunately, Norm's not here today. He likes. Actually, that's not true. Mark is the one that did this. He was so happy that I told him in an interview that when I had an issue, I went to God and then to my wife. Or to my wife and then to God, depending. But she has a handle on this stuff in a different way sometimes. And so a few weeks ago, we were doing our show, and she had a pain in her knee that came to her, that she could literally not walk. And I don't recall exactly. Oh, I know. We were getting ready for our show, and this was happening. And it took her about a half an hour to get from the office to the bedroom. And we did our show, and we have a show every Wednesday, shameless plug. And after we were done, we had a couple healers listening on our show that day and participating. And one of them was Brian. He called Robin and said, "Do you want me to work on your knee?" And she said, "Sure." And I would have gone, "Yeah, well, whatever. I don't necessarily, it's a knee, it's hurt. What can you do?" Well, that's not the case. Because within about a half an hour, the knee had completely released. All of the pain was gone. Why? Simply because Brian could see, Robin could accept, they could see the truth of what was going on and know that we weren't bound by what we thought about it. We're not bound by what somebody said to us means. That if your leg is bad, it's bad. And you're going to have to go to the doctor. And you're going to have to do these things. Sure, sometimes those are things we do. And we need to do them. But that isn't necessarily the case all the time. And the point is to be available to that possibility. To be available to what's flowing through us. To what's already within us. And so I marvel at that. It makes me want that more in my life. And watching that movie made me think, my gosh, where am I letting go of the power? Where am I missing it? And so I'm inviting all of us to look at that, to make space for that thing that we don't really understand. It's bigger than us. And to allow it to come through. So, we can make space in our lives all day long. And if it's just to allow ourselves to have more time to be in doubt and worry, that's not going to help, right? We're making space for us to have a life relationship, and we're in fear about how we can be hurt and emotionally harmed. It's not going to help us. It doesn't mean those things don't come through, but if it becomes a pattern, if it becomes a belief that that's what happens if, this is what happens if. See, computers function on an if-then process, right? If this, then that. If this, then that. And it's very clear and very succinct, and that's not how Spirit works. It's not if this, then that. It's all of this is possible. All of this is possible. There's not one option or two options. So, this is a little something by Daryl Jones and Sonia Hart. It says, understanding this connection that was talked about in the reading and that we were talking about now, understanding the connection is the key to grasping how the thing works through us. Often we engage with the law, we engage with Spirit reactively, allowing our beliefs and thoughts to be shaped by circumstances, allowing what we think we know to be what it is. But if we consciously choose the thoughts and beliefs we hold in mind rather than merely reacting, by shifting from a reactive mindset to one of intentionality, we can profoundly transform our lives. This shift in awareness allows us to align more closely with the creative power within us, leading to a life where we consciously cultivate the experiences and outcomes we desire. Finally, I want to share this. Joel Goldsmith, who is fantastic New Thought writer, who has put down a lot of incredible ideas. He says this: there is not a person who should not be ready to accept the responsibility of beginning to heal now. It is not your spirituality or mind that will heal anybody. It is not your understanding or mind that is going to heal. It is God's understanding to which we make ourselves receptive by becoming still, by making space, by releasing those thoughts, by shifting away from all of the things that we think are important. What we need to realize is I don't know anything. And yet I know everything because I am the I am. But when I'm doing it from here, it's different. And so I think we're called to let go of the labels of anything that's fearful or anything that's wrong. And I think the label I'm going to suggest we adopt is I am. I am. I am is the space where Spirit lives as me. And that's the space where Spirit lives as each one of us. There's nothing about it except I am. So I want to take that into prayer and just anchor that for us all. Invite practitioners and ministers to circle the room. And when we come together in prayer, we are simply opening ourselves up to Spirit. And when we do affirmative prayer, we are stepping outside of that idea that there is something we have to fix. We're stepping into the idea that Spirit has it. And so I'm knowing right here and right now that each one of us is the it. Each one of us is the it living outwardly. And so we allow that to live us, to breathe us, to be us. And as we stand in that space, we are in unity, we are in oneness with all of creation, with one another, with the planet, with the cosmos, in the space of oneness, where there is only vast possibility, there is only perfect health revealing itself, there is only perfect love living itself out. There is all needs met in every moment. And so I'm knowing this is the truth of our lives. This is the truth of who we are. We are right here and right now living the life that we're called to live. We are the light of Spirit. We are love. We are that love expressing that heals others, that holds them. We are the ones that see beyond the appearances, that see beyond the circumstances, that love beyond the circumstances, that hold people in their space of struggling through their feelings of circumstances, and yet knowing that that's not the truth of who they are. That's just what they're going through. And that we hold for ourselves. The circumstances we experience are just that. How we work with them is the call. And so I am declaring right here and right now that every circumstance we allow to be what it is, and we stand in the truth of who we are. That we make space for the it to express itself as us. We stand in our I am, in gratitude and in love. And when something shows up, we embrace the truth of Spirit. We embrace the possibility. We no longer hang on to anything that will prove to stand in the way simply because we've decided it. That we shift our feelings, that our feelings right here and right now are knowing that God is perfect. God is in charge. So in anchoring this truth, I just allow these words to be received into the law, knowing that the law can only respond to what we put in. Knowing that Spirit responds to who we are. Knowing that Spirit already sees beyond what we do. So I release this time in prayer with love and gratitude. And I say, and so it is. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And I believe it is time for a theatrical presentation. You weren't expecting that, were you? Here we go.
Musical chairs.
The RGCSL community wish list.
Oh, the RGCSL Community Wish List. My New Year's wish list. What do I want? I know, I want to be the new tech director at the center. There is so much that I could do. Oh, I could have everything just working perfectly.
Oh my goodness, as secretary of the board of trustees, I have a hard time keeping up with everything everybody says, so it makes it hard for me to participate. It's like, say that again, what? And you know what, I found out there's a new program called Otter AI. And what I'm told is that this will actually take notes for me so I can actually participate and get all the action points instead of me scribbling and everybody having to read a novel.
Sounds good.
And you know what? It's only $100.
Hey, such a deal. I like it.
I do too.
Look at all these people. I mean, there's gotta be, 40, 50 people in here today. And I know every single one of them by name. How about you?
No. I have a hole in my brain where names go, and they don't come back. And I know people, but I couldn't tell you what your name is. Sorry.
I lied. I don't know everybody here. But it has been suggested that we get name tags for everybody so that you don't have to go through that. You can just look at the name tag and say, hi, Jake, or hi, Joan, or Sarah, or Doug, or anybody. And it's also been suggested by a couple of really smart people that we might start a directory of the members here, kind of like a little phone book kind of directory, so that we could all know each other and maybe have a little picture in there, and so that we could all communicate, on other times other than just Sunday mornings when we're all here together. So I like the idea. How about, does anybody else like that idea? To have maybe a directory and some name tags so that we can all get to know each other a little bit better?
Brilliant. Yeah, brilliant, John.
Brilliant. Thank you. This is all my doing. All right. And I'm going to pass this mic over to Sherry.
See, I know her.
Wow, what a list. Hey, that's pretty good. A tech director. Well, 4 months worth of a tech director is about $1,600. 400 times 4 months. And that software, Otter AI, is really a bargain. $100 a year, period. So for $100, we have a helper and secretary, and we cut down our reading time. Good novel. And name tags. Do you know that $800 could buy 100 name tags or so? And that would certainly take care of what we have now. So we're talking $2,500. So, that would be money well donated. So if you've a mind to support this wish list, I would encourage you to donate to our community so that we can get these things. Now, there's one more wish. I have a wish for another board member we've got so much to do this year, and so we need one more person. Now, fortunately, we've got one. If you like her, the board has approved Jennifer Wilmer to join us. I heard you approved too. So I got my wish, and let's see if all of you get yours.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. All right, so when we do our offering this morning, if you would put something in and mark it as wish list, that will go to this idea and allow us to get this set. I would love for us to complete this today and be done with it. And the reason is because with everything moving and our rent changing in the next month, if we know we have the security of having the money ready to pay Jennifer, that'll be fantastic. What you may not realize is she has already been working for about 2.5 months and doing it gratis. And what I've discovered about Jennifer is she doesn't know everything, but she will know it as soon as she finds out she needs to know it. So that's a fantastic thing. So, wow, look at that beautiful thing right there. All right, so that's what it is. So let's get out our gifts that we have today. We're going to bless them and then have the opportunity to bring them forward. So we're going to do this affirmation this morning. So let's say it together. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. So it is. Thank you.
I'm not sure if I'm doing a solo or if I'm doing the offering. Okay. All right, so that's what I'll do. Very simple song for you to sing along with while you're making your offering, or while you're sitting in your chair, or when you're driving home, whatever. It's very simple. All I give comes back to me, blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me, blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me, blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me, blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me and blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me and blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me, blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me, blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me, blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me, blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me and blesses me abundantly. Blesses me abundantly, blesses me abundantly, blesses me abundantly, blesses me abundantly.
And it blesses the me of community. So we just are grateful for all that is given through time and talent and treasure. And so right now we just take a moment in gratitude to bless these gifts that have come forward, knowing that they serve this community and its ability to serve the greater community. So as we walk in this new era of being a combined CSL unity community, we give thanks for these gifts, and we just know that all is well. And our wishes are granted. So it is.
So it is.
It has been wonderful to be together today. Boy, I feel so different than I did when I came in this morning. I feel really good, and things are going to be okay. Things are okay. So it's been wonderful to celebrate, to be together. Don't forget to take advantage of our prayers being offered by the practitioners in the prayer garden over here. Any request you have for prayer, it's just a few minutes of your time, and it really could make a difference in your life. And we love to pray for you. And also, there's a prayer box in the back of the sanctuary. You can fill out your prayer requests there, and we distribute that to the practitioners, and we pray for that. Also, online, there's a place to ask for prayer, and we are getting more and more of those prayer requests, which is great, so we're really happy to see that. Also, please join us for food and coffee or whatever, water in the social hall after our closing song and affirmation. Thank you.
Thanks, Marilyn. If you please stand, we're going to go out with the Ricky Byers. And if you feel so moved and you want to join hands, if we can do that, that's fine. If not, just put your hand over your heart for a contactless experience. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. A little louder, please. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. That we rest in God and say amen.
Right, if you would say with me this affirmation. I am the I am. I am the I am. Go out in peace.
It's good to see you. Do you have your cell phone with you? I was expecting her. Oh, I was going to get you. I keep using phone numbers. I was going to get you.
Yes.
I don't know the words. All right, when you call me and say, that sounds good. That sounds good.
Okay.
First,
I think that's possible, yeah.
Smiles of my great-grandmothers and the smiles of my great-grandfathers all live in me, all live in me. In the land of I am, more than I have been, I am more than I will be, I am all that I am. In the land of I am, more than I have been, I am more than I will be, I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been, I am more than I will be, I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been, I am more than I will be, I am all that I am. Just as I am. Just as I am. Just as